You alright guys? Hope you're all okay out there. Well, today we have another classic, egg fried rice, one of my favourites. So round the table as usual, a high smoking point oil like groundnut oil, day or 2 day old boiled rice, and you'll notice it's a little bit brown. That's because it's got a bit of stock in it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Light soy sauce, sesame oil, pinch or two of white pepper, 1 or 2 eggs. I'm using a duck egg, so it's quite a large egg. Couple of chillies, a shallot, 4 cloves of garlic, spring onions for dressing, right at the end, and monosodium glutamate. And we'll have a chat about that as well. I'm going to try and film the actual cooking all in one go without any interruptions, so let's see how it goes. And you'll notice I'm using my cleaver for this. I don't get this out often enough. Fantastic tool, really sharp as well. So that's the spring onions getting chopped up. Set them aside. And what's good about the cleaver, look, it doubles up as well, a spade. Squash the garlic and finely chop it. You can mince it if you want, but I prefer a little bit of texture to the garlic in rice. Personal taste. Set the garlic to one side and get on with the shallot. Again, finely chop it. This is one of my own, a Hativ shallot from last year. More of an onion-shaped shallot than a shallot-shaped shallot. Does that make sense? Hasn't got the classic pink tinge of a shallot, but very tasty nonetheless. Finely chop, and I'm putting this in the same little tub as the garlic because they get cooked at the same time. And very finely slice the chillies, maybe 1mm, 2mm. You want them as small as you can get them. You don't want big chunks of chilli in a fried rice. You want to be able to see the nice little red rings. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay then, out with the wok. This is a mild steel wok, and on an induction hob it gets hot very quickly. Your normal cooking pans and frying pans, they're aluminium with a mild steel insert in the bottom, so they heat up pretty slowly. This pure mild steel one heats up so fast you've got to use it on 1 or even 2 settings lower than normal. So all I've done, I put some oil in, got the oil smoking and draining off the oil, got the wok breathing, the wok hay, breath of the wok, got it smoking, and then in with some fresh cold oil for the cooking, and straight in with the aromatics, the garlic and shallot. And stir fry these quickly. You'll notice I'm using a plastic ladle for this. I found my steel one scratches the pan a little bit, takes the patina off, so I resorted to a plastic. Okay, in with the egg, and like I said, I'm using a duck egg for this one. It's quite a large egg actually. It's got to be at least 1.5 chicken eggs. Straight into the wok. And mix it in. And just as it's setting, in with the chillies. You'll see the nice little round discs now, look. Get them mixed in, and then in with the rice. Now the rice is 2-day-old rice. I used it in my sweet and sour chicken recipe, if you saw that a few days ago. Nudge nudge, wink wink, go and have a look. You'll see it's slightly brown, and that's because when I cook my rice in my rice cooker, and we'll talk about that another day, I always add a little bit of vegetable stock or chicken stock or a Maggi stock cube. It gives the rice that little bit of extra taste rather than just boring old boiled rice, if you like. Never use hot boiled rice for making egg fried rice. All you'll end up with is steamed rice, not fried. You could do a boiled rice and let it cool down for a couple of hours, but if you leave it in the fridge overnight, the grains of rice fall apart naturally and you haven't got to waste your time breaking the clumps up. A little dig well tip for you. And I forgot to mention that this rice I'm using is Jasmine Rice. It's a medium grain rice and it is perfect for this dish. If you have to, at a push, you could use a long grain rice like basmati rice, but if you've never tried Jasmine Rice, give it a go. It's a bit of an eye-opener. One of those, how did I ever not know this type things. Okay then, in with the rest of the flavours in no particular order. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, soy sauce, sesame oil, and a sprinkle of white pepper. You don't have to put white pepper in, I like white pepper, so white pepper went in. Okay then, MSG. Those of us of a certain age will remember that MSG got a really bad press in the 70s and 80s. Because back in 1968, Dr. Robert Holman Kwok wrote a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine complaining that he felt unwell every time he went to an American Chinese restaurant. Much research was supposedly carried out, the media got hold of it, and the Chinese restaurant syndrome was created. Symptoms such as headache, nausea and a strange numbness. All because of MSG. I remember saying to my mate at the time, we don't suppose it's because we've been drinking since 7 o'clock and we're getting a Chinese takeaway on the way home, do we? The media reaction was so bad that many restaurants had to advertise no MSG outside their restaurants to bring back the lost footfall. Incredible. You can probably guess where I'm going with this. Modern research and tests have shown that the original trials were a bit blinded, and there's no real link between MSG and any of the so-called Chinese restaurant syndrome. No more than there is with any substance tested with any small proportion of any population. Monosodium glutamate is the most stable form of the glutamate, and the sodium part has less sodium than salt in, so it's a good salt replacement as well. These days it's made by fermenting sugar cane or beet and molasses. The taste that the glutamate brings is now considered to be the fifth taste sense, along with sweet, sour, bitter and salty. It's the one that makes you salivate. You know, when you have that tomato and you go, oh yeah, oh crikey, or that lump of cheese and it makes your mouth water. That's umami, that's the glutamate. And it's found in many vegetables, like I said, tomatoes, it's in onions, cabbage, it's in green peas, spinach, mushrooms, broccoli. Anyway, the rice is finished. In with the spring onions, quick stir around, quick toss, and time to dish it up. And here we go then, guys, fresh off the hob. Oh yeah. Well, to me that is my perfect fried rice. Oh, I'm loving that. Eat your heart out, Uncle Roger. This is beautiful. That's a winner, guys. You got to try this one.